Elizabeth, would you do me the honour of becoming my wife?
You mean you want to marry me?
If you'll have me.
What would you do that for?
I don't think he would have liked that cup of coffee. It wouldn't have been sweet enough. You see, ground glass doesn't dissolve.
Well, come on, showers. You too, Bryant. Get a move on.
Oh, I wanted to talk to Kathy, Mr. Fletcher.
There's plenty of time for that later.
Oh, come on, Mr. Fletcher. How about letting us out?
Hi, Florance. Speak to your telephone.
Hi. How you going? Bea told me about what happened last night.
Managed to get through the night, just. Didn't sleep a wink.
Well, I brought you some sugar. Guaranteed. No ground glass.
Oh, thanks. You're a real friend, Jude.
Oh, yeah, well, I was planning on giving it up anyway.
Oh, how you going? Find any more little booby traps?
No, but I wouldn't know where to start looking.
Oh.
Anyway, come on, better get going before Mr. Fletcher gets suspicious.
I really appreciate this, Bea. I'll do you a favour one day.
Oh, that's the name of the game in here, love. You look after your friends, they'll look after you.
Yeah, well, there's nothing there, Bea.
No? Okay. Oh, hang on.
What are you doing?
Oh, the old razor blade and the soap trick. Makes a real mess of the shower cubicles. That looks okay, though. Oh, you're right.
I wouldn't have thought of looking there.
Bea knows all the tricks of the trade.
Smith, Bryant, where are you?
Oh, we're coming, Mr. Fletcher.
I don't know why you're doing this for me, Bea.
Well, like you said, maybe you'll do me a favour one day. Or we might need that husband of yours for something. But apart from that, I don't like anyone having a go at someone in here without me knowing about it.
Good morning.
Oh, it's you.
I thought you'd be pleased to see me. I'm Detective Inspector Grace. Is the governor in yet?
I'll look after him. What do you want?
You've got a Catherine Louise Hall in here. I'd like to speak to her, please.
What do you want to see her for?
Well, now, Miss Bennett, that's police business. Nothing you'd be interested in, unless, of course, you'd like to help me with the investigations.
Sign in. I'll go and see if she wants to speak to you.
Oh, Miss Bennett, you're so kind.
Put some effort into it, Wolford.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
What's wrong?
There's a detective in reception wanting to speak to Hall.
What about?
Well, how should I know? Detective Inspector Grace never gives anything away.
Sounds like you've met this bloke before.
Yes. He tried to fool me into getting him some information once.
Well, if he's going to get under your skin, I'll tell you what, I'll take Hall through for you, if you like.
Well, do you mind?
No, I'm sure you've got things to do. Can't tell your flat-footed friend she's on her way.
Thanks. You'd get more work done if you stopped listening to conversations that don't concern you, Wolford.
Yes, Miss Bennett.
What's the matter with Lizzie lately?
I don't know. Something's bothering her. Her face gets much longer, she'll trip over it.
Yeah. You think she's had any letters from her family the last couple of days?
No, she's been like it ever since she last saw Sid. I hope there's nothing wrong there.
Well, won't she tell you?
Won't even tell Doreen. That's why I sent the two of them off together on rounds.
Yeah.
I thought Doreen might be able to get something out of her.
Well, I hope it's not those day trip things, you know, wanting to get out and all.
No, I don't think so. Not after all the trouble she went to get back in here.
Hall, you got a visitor.
Who is it?
Detective wants to ask you a few questions.
Why? I don't know anything.
Well, you've nothing to worry about then, have you? Come on.
I don't want to see him.
But you don't have to, Kath. You see, you've got the right to refuse.
Why should you if she's got nothing to hide?
I don't want to see him.
Oh, don't be silly, Hall. You don't know what it's about. Look, if you refuse, you'll get suspicious.
Well, he's got a point there.
I suppose.
Come on.
Right. What do you make of that?
I don't know.
That's the riot alarm. You stay there.
It's going to leave me.
Well, it'll only be a minute. Lucy told you, stay there. You'll be all right. What's happening, Jim? No, it beats me. Which way did you come? H-Point. There's nothing happening down there. I'll have to check the first floor. Come on, right. Anything?
No, must be a false alarm. Someone must have picked the lock on one of the emergency switches. I have to check them all to find it.
Has this sort of thing happened before?
Oh, yeah, once or twice. I think it's funny to have us running around in circles. Either that or they're up to something. They want us out of the way for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Look, how long do I have to... Oh, no.
See anything, Jude?
No, it's as quiet as the grave.
Bev? No. Well, that bell didn't ring for nothing. Anyone heard of any escape plans?
Oh, come on, honey. No one's going to try and escape without telling you first.
Yeah, maybe, maybe not.
Here comes Fletch.
All right, Smith, what's going on?
I thought you might be able to tell us that.
Well, you claim to know everything that's going on around here.
No, I didn't think you believed that for 1 minute.
Yeah, honestly, Mr. Fletcher, we're as much in the dark as you are. We heard the alarm go. Miss Sparkle came rushing up, locked us in here. That's all we know.
Mr. Fletcher, could you come right away? Just found Hall. She's unconscious in the corridor.
Do you know anything about this, Smith?
God, no. How many times do I have to tell you?
Oh, please, Mr. Harrison, they should be all right here till I sort this thing out.
Oh, hey, boys, is Kathy all right?
Yeah, I think so. Just a few bruises, that's all.
Well, how much longer are we going to be in here? Oh, thanks very much.
What do you reckon?
I know. But we're going to have to keep a closer eye on her. And I'll tell you what I think. I want that basher before the screws get her.
Well, she's not too badly hurt, that's one thing.
Yes, but for how long? First the electric jug and now this.
I've checked out most of the other women. No one appears to have been in the area at the time.
Oh, they never do. It's virtually a repeat of the Gaffney incident.
Oh, true. I don't think the same person was involved.
Why do you say that?
I can't see any connection between the two.
Don't you?
What are you driving at?
Well, who was with Hall prior to the alarm sounding?
Well, it was Terry, but you...
And who was Gaffney blackmailing when she was bashed?
Yeah, but surely you
Well,
don't...
there's your connection.
But he was with me most of the time that the alarm was ringing.
Well, I'm not entirely convinced. That Gaffney business was not satisfactorily cleared up.
Well, what do you want to do about Grace? Do you want him to start the inquiry? He's still waiting in reception.
I prefer it wasn't him. I want to speak to the department first.
Well, why?
Well, the same reason as before. If an officer is involved, then it's an internal matter.
All right.
Well, would you speak to Inspector Grace and tell him that Hall is not available?
Without arousing his suspicion?
I'm sure you can handle it, Mr. Fletcher.
Ah, Miss Bennett. Now, I've been waiting here for 3/4 of an hour. How long does it take you to get a prisoner through this bloody building?
One of the male officers has gone to get her. No doubt he's been held up for some reason.
Like a riot, for example? I mean, that was the riot alarm that went off, wasn't it?
Yes, it was probably an electrical fault. Mr. Fletcher's attending to it.
Well, I've got better things to do with my day than hang about here while you play your silly games.
Then I suggest that you attend to them and come back at a more convenient time.
What is going on here?
I really can't say, Inspector. But no doubt someone will be along to see you soon.
Fletcher. Now, what the bloody hell's going on here?
Yes, I'm afraid that Hall's been held up.
Yeah? Lost is more like it.
Well, there's been a minor accident.
An accident? What, like a riot? I mean, was that what the riot alarm was for?
No, well, we've had a bit of a problem with some machinery in the laundry. I'm afraid that Hall was scalded in the steam press.
An accident, eh?
Well, I'm satisfied there are no suspicious circumstances, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, well, I'm glad of that, Mr. Fletch. I'm glad that there's no subterfuge in this place to stop me from seeing Hall.
Well, no, of course not. No, she'll be along as soon as the sister attends to her. She shouldn't be long. Well, not too long, anyway.
Well, I'm a busy man, Fletcher. I can't hang about here all day on a routine matter. I'll send one of my men.
Inspector. The book, please.
Hey, Jim, is that the detective?
Yes.
Well, where's he going? Isn't there going to be a police inquiry?
Why? It's an internal matter. It's our affair, not theirs.
Jim, this is a case of assault.
So was Margot Gaffney.
Yeah, but that was different.
Why? Both women were attacked from behind. No clue as to who did it.
And look, Jim, Gaffney was hated. Hall isn't. What makes it different is that somebody on the outside's trying to get to her.
There's no evidence to think that, Terry.
Well, there won't be unless somebody looks for it.
Well, it's not going to be the police. Governor's orders.
Oh, boy.
Look, Terry, I wouldn't push it if I were you.
What does that mean?
Well, you figure it out for yourself. 2 women, both mysteriously attacked, and you were involved with both of them.
Inspector, Terry Harrison. I'm one of the senior officers here.
Yeah, congratulations.
I believe you wanted to speak to Kathy Hall.
That's right. What about?
Well, I don't think there's anything that I can or would want to talk to a prison officer about, Mr. Harrison.
Do you know any connection between Kathy Hall and a crime syndicate?
Why?
Because I think there is. Look, what happened to her wasn't an accident.
Well, I'd suspected as much.
Someone pushed her against a security gate. I think they were trying to stop her talking to you.
You got any idea who it was?
I thought you might give me a clue.
Maybe.
Look, I'll keep my ear to the ground on the inside for you.
Well, I think you and I have similar views, Mr. Harrison. It's nice to meet someone at this place who's willing to cooperate for a change. We have had certain information about a guy in Mulgrave who is a receiver now. I don't know whether Kathy Hall's connected with him, but I've been trying to trade a bit of information for a little bit of remission.
That's it?
That's all I've got. I don't know whether she's connected, but I'll be checking it out. It would be nice for both of us if we could land a big fish or two.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'll keep my eyes open to the inside for any leads.
Good. Terry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be checking it out with a few of my colleagues at headquarters, and I'll let you know what I come up with. Nice to have met you.
Always glad to help.
Oh, God. Look at that mess, will you? What's the betting mouse is on kitchen duty?
Yeah, what a way to go, eh? Mouse poison.
Hey, we didn't think of that.
What?
Poison, Kathy.
Hell. It's an ideal way to bump somebody off if you can keep the food separate from the rest.
Like when she's in the hospital?
We have to do something, babe. We're gonna have to tell the screws.
Hang on a minute.
Wolford, you're due for release this afternoon. As soon as you finish your food, go to your cell and pack your things.
Righto, Mr. Fletcher. Will do.
Mr. Fletcher, who's on kitchen duty today?
Why do you want to know, Smith?
I'd like to send my compliments to the chef.
Well, well, well. Kent and Trapp will be pleased. They don't give many compliments these days.
Mouse and Hazel's okay, huh? And Doreen's on trolley duty. Now, Kath is gonna be okay.
Hey, Dinah. Yeah? You were on cleaning duty this morning, weren't you?
Yeah, why?
Where were you when the alarm rang?
D block?
Didn't you do the corridors in the East Wing?
Did, but I finished early. Why? What's all this about?
Well, Kathy got bashed up this morning. Didn't you hear about it?
Jeez. Am I glad I'm getting out of this place this arvo? It just ain't safe.
You reckon it's her?
I don't know. But whoever it is, we're up against a very clever customer. And a bloody dangerous one.
Well, another action-packed morning at Wentworth.
Did you manage to find out which alarm switch had been tampered with?
Yeah, the East Wing corridor, where Hall was found.
And of course, everyone was somewhere else at the time.
Of course. Look, Vera, you and Terry, I was wondering...
Well, don't. Our private life is our own.
No, honestly, I wasn't prying. I was just wondering if you knew if he was trying to cultivate another informer.
Well, of course not. Got his fingers burnt last time.
With Margot Gaffney? Yeah, well, that's just it. He seems to be taking the same interest in Kathy. And Mrs. Davidson's noticed it, too.
Noticed what?
Well, the similarities between Hall's bashing and Gaffney's.
You mean Terry's under suspicion again?
Well, he could be, unless we can find Hall's attacker.
But that's ridiculous. He's got no arrangement with her.
Well, I hope you're right, but you must admit he does seem to be taking a great deal of interest in her.
Well, there's a reason for that.
What's that?
They used to be married. 2 gold neck chains with pendants. 1 gold bracelet. 2 diamond rings. 1 sapphire. 1 emerald. 1 pair of diamond earrings. $125.62 in cash.
Yep, it's all there.
Of course it is. Although I'm surprised you brought in the crown jewels with you. Now sign here.
It's better than a safety deposit box. Banks get robbed, you know.
I'm surprised you own so much. I thought your sort lived pretty much hand to mouth.
It's my security, Miss Bennett. You don't get superannuation in my job. Oh, hello. My replacement's arrived already. Don't worry, love. The screws don't get you. The boredom will.
You finished here, Walford. Report to Officer Barfield. She'll show you to the gate.
Bye-bye, love. Have fun.
Thank you. Stand on the white line. I said stand on the white line. Your name is Alison Marie Page. Is that correct?
Yes.
You have been charged with theft and sentenced to 3 months' imprisonment. Is that correct?
Yes.
Place your belongings on the counter. Take off all your jewelry. I said all your jewelry.
I did.
There's a ring on the other hand.
But that's my wedding ring.
If you don't learn to obey orders in here, Paige, you won't be very popular. I said all jewelry is to be removed, so do it. Right. Now go behind that screen and strip. You'll be searched and sent for a shower and a medical inspection. After that, the governor wants to see you. Do you understand the order? Do I have to tell you again?
I know this is your first time in prison, and hopefully your last. You have been given a book of regulations which you must obey. The officers and other women will help you settle into prison routine.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Continuing good behavior will lead to remissions from your sentence, a maximum of 15 days per month.
You mean I can get out of here in half the time?
Oh, not exactly, I'm afraid. A remission is calculated retrospectively. The first month must be served. It's roughly a third of your sentence. Are there any questions you wish to ask? I see you have a family.
Yes, I don't know how they'll cope without me.
Oh, everything will be fine, I'm sure, don't worry. Mrs. Morris handles our welfare work here. She'll do all she can to help.
They can come here, can't they?
Oh, of course. You are permitted 1 hour visiting per week.
You don't understand. I don't want them to come. They can't see me like this.
Well, then, I suggest you settle in as soon as possible. You are here until you are released. You must accept that. Miss Bennett will now take you to your cell.
This way, Paige. The bell will ring at 7, and you'll be let out for showers. After breakfast, you're to report to muster and be assigned to work. Are you listening to me?
Yes, really.
You can work in the kitchen, the workshop, or the laundry. You can request to work anywhere, but if there isn't a vacancy, you're expected to work where you're sent. Now, this is your cell. The dinner bell will sound in about 10 minutes. You can follow the other women to the dining room.
Do I have to? I'm not hungry.
Please yourself, but make your bed before you do anything. Well, come on, hurry up. I've got a home to go to. This is yours.
Hi.
Terry, what have you got going with Kathy Hall?
What do you mean?
Well, just because you used to be married doesn't mean that you should give her special treatment.
I'm not.
Oh, come on. Even Jim Fletcher's noticed the way that you've been around her all the time.
I see, Jim Fletcher. Do I detect a glint of green in those pretty eyes?
I'm serious, Terry.
Vera, I'm not doing anything for Kathy that I wouldn't do for the other prisoners. It's our job to protect them. That's all I'm doing.
Is that why you spoke to Inspector Grace?
Who told you?
Bill on the gate. You're not to be fooled by that man. He's a professional ratbag, out for information at all costs.
He just might be able to help her.
Oh, rubbish. I won't stand for it. You've got to drop any deal you might have made with him. Now, if you've still got some feelings left
Which I haven't.
Then drop it. Please, for me.
It means that much to you?
Yes, it does.
Look, Vera, I keep telling you, Kathy doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I got over her years ago.
Yes, I know, I'm sorry. I just get nervous. You know. Will you promise me?
All right. All right, I promise.
Right, Paige. This is a cell inspection. I thought I told you to make your bed.
I did.
There's a right way and a wrong way. This is wrong.
I didn't know.
You should have asked some of the other women. Now do it again and do it properly. I'll be back shortly.
Oh, hi. I heard we had a new neighbour in this cell.
Hello?
Hello, I'm B. Smith. I'm in charge as far as the women are concerned. Vinegar Tit's been giving you trouble.
Who?
Miss Bennett.
Oh, she said I had to make the bed again properly.
Oh, yeah. She's a bit fussy about that. What's your name, love?
Alison Page. Mrs.
Right, well, there you go, Alison. This is the way she likes it made. Just like that.
Thank you.
That's okay. We've got to stick together in here against the likes of her.
Oh, I'm only in for 3 months. 2 if I get remission.
Listen, love. You need friends in a place like this, even if you're only in here for 3 days. It's pretty tough going it alone. Ah, that's for breakfast. You hungry? You won't be when you see the tucker. Come on, I'll take you to the dining room.
Oh, yuck.
Oh, don't blame me. I only dish it up.
Hey, Lizzie, maybe we could organise another riot alarm today. That was real good getting stuck in maternity.
Yeah. Well, never mind, Lizzie. It could have been worse, you know. You could have got locked in the storeroom with only vinegar for company.
No, maternity was great. We stayed there and played games with the kids for ages.
You did. I only read them fairy stories.
Oh, you sure it wasn't too hard for you?
Good morning, ladies. Got a new chum on deck today. This is Alison Page, Alison, Judy, Doreen, and that's Lizzie, the prison mascot.
Hello.
Hello, Alison. It's nice to have a new face round the place.
How long are you in for, love?
3 months.
Oh, that'll pass in a minute.
Come and have some brekkie. They call it porridge, but I reckon it's for laying bricks. There you go.
You stupid idiot. How dare you do that to me?
Oh, come off it. It was only an accident.
Keep out of it. Come, a little thug.
Come on, little... You here.
She's not exactly a social type, is she?
Oh, I think it's all a bit beyond her at the moment.
Yeah, bloody stuck-up bitch. That's what she is.
Yeah, not real friendly, is she?
Yeah, well, she's going to have to come down to earth sooner or later and realise just where she is.
Not hungry, Paige?
I can't eat it.
Well, that's up to you. But after a day or two, you'll realise it's all there is. And suddenly it tastes a lot better.
Cheer up. We've been eating this muck for years and we're still alive.
You call this living?
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Mrs. Davidson?
Yes, Mr. Harrison. It has come to my notice that you were once married to Kathy Hall. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Why have you said nothing about it?
Well, I don't think it was important. Our marriage ended ages ago. I haven't seen her in 10 years.
There have been occasions in the past where relatives of staff members have been on the wrong side of the bars, and it has proved somewhat of an embarrassment. My own niece was at Wentworth, as was Mrs. Morris's stepdaughter, and in both cases we found it necessary to make other arrangements.
You're going to transfer Hall?
I think it advisable.
Mrs. Davidson, could I ask you not to Barnhurst anyway?
Why?
I think whoever's making these threats against Kathy Hall belongs to a crime syndicate. Now, Barnhurst is a medium security prison. If you send her there, they'll have no trouble in getting to her and finishing the job.
Crime syndicate?
Yes.
Isn't that being a bit dramatic? It could be one of the inmates here making the threats.
I don't think so. This is serious. They tried to kill her.
I do not want to place an officer in a compromising or embarrassing situation.
Believe me, Mrs. Davidson, you won't be. Kathy Hall means nothing to me.
All right, Mr. Harrison. I shall postpone transferring her for the time being.
Thank you.
But now that I am aware of the situation, I shall be keeping a close eye on it. I do not want a repeat of the Margot Gaffney incident.
No, of course not. Don't worry, Mrs. Davidson. We'll find the person who's making these threats.
We certainly will, Mr. Harrison. One way or another.
Hey, Lizzie, you not your usual smiling self today?
And me? I'm all right.
Anything on your mind you want to talk about?
No.
Oh, hi, Kathy. How you going?
I'm all right, I suppose. Doc reckons I'm fit enough to work again.
Well, welcome back to the land of the living. Got any idea who bashed you? Anything you didn't tell the screws?
No, dear, I haven't got a clue. All happened so quick and they got me from behind.
Well, as far as I can find out, Diana Walford had a bit of time she couldn't account for. She said she was in D block, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know her.
Yeah, well, as anybody else. She could be with someone on the outside. Pity I couldn't have a longer chat with her.
Well, why couldn't you?
She got out yesterday, Ava.
Well, I reckon they were out to stop me talking to that cop. I know they were.
No, relax. I'm pretty certain it was Diana. Now she's no longer here. You should be safe as houses.
Yeah. What happens if it wasn't her?
Morning, Alison. Remember me?
Mrs. Morris. Yes, of course.
I was hoping I wouldn't be seeing you again. Especially not in here. But now that you are here, let's make the most of it, eh? Have you been assigned to a workplace yet?
They're going to put me in the laundry. But couldn't I just stay in my room?
Well, 3 months is a long time in a small cell.
But you can get me out, please. Like you did last time. Don will pay the fine.
Alison, I can't. It's gone beyond that now. You've been sentenced, and there's no way I could change the magistrate's ruling. The report I did on you before was good enough to get you off on a fine, but now...
I can't face it, Mrs. Morris. 3 months in here with these terrible women.
Oh, come on. Well, tell me about it. Why did you steal again? I mean, you knew it would lead to this.
I tried. Really, I did. Don and I had a heart-to-heart talk after the last time. We got closer than we had done in years. I told him I was sick and tired of running the business from the home, answering phones, trying to get meals ready.
He's a builder, isn't he?
A plumber. I wanted to get a job, just part-time, enough to give me an outside interest. We never went out at night. I was stuck in that house 24 hours a day.
Alison, I know the gambling gave you a bit of excitement, but this is your 3rd offence for stealing. You can't expect the courts to keep letting you off because you've got gambling debts to pay.
All I ever needed was for someone to tell me that I was doing a good job, just a word of encouragement now and again. It's not the gambling. I could do without that.
You don't think you have a problem, then?
Of course not. I just got in too far over my head, that's all, and I panicked. I didn't want Don to find out.
Well, he certainly knows now, doesn't he?
But I can't stand it in here. I can't stay with those women.
Alison, you've got to make the best of it. By refusing to mix with them, you'll only make it worse.
But you've got to do something. You must help me. What am I going to do?
Have a look at her. She's miles away. Have either of you found out what's upsetting her yet?
No, me neither. Must have been something to do with Sid, though. Maybe they had a blue or something.
Well, we're going to have to do something to cheer her up.
Well, what do you suggest?
Watching you lot, Fletch.
Right, ladies, I think most of you know Alison Page. Smith, show her what to do, will you?
Mr. Fletcher.
What is it, Smith?
I want to make a phone call.
Phone call? Who do you want to phone?
A friend. Come on, I haven't used the phone for ages. Must have plenty of calls and credit.
All right, come on. Bryant, show Page the ropes, will you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Fletcher, sir. Well, how you going, love?
Not bad. What'd they get you for?
Oh, come on, Doreen. Maybe she doesn't want to tell us.
No, it's all right. I stole some things.
What sort of things?
Doreen, will you knock it off, please? Listen, love, we're not trying to be noisy or anything. We're just trying to be friendly.
Jude's a pretty good sort of friend to have, too, Alison.
Huh. Well, you got family on the outside?
Yes, a boy and a girl.
Oh, that's great. How old are they?
Christopher is 15 and Susan is 10.
Geez, are they the ones who helped you pinch the stuff?
Well, of course not. They're not like you.
What do you bloody mean? Look, you're no better than the rest of us, just in case you think you are.
All right, calm down, will you? I know how you must feel, love.
Oh, leave me alone. Just give me some work to do and leave me.
All right, Smith, what number do you want?
Oh, I don't know. You should have it on file, though. It's Mr. Humphrey.
Sid? Why are you calling him?
Private business, Mr. Fletcher.
That'd have nothing to do with Lizzie, would it?
Look, she knows nothing about it, honest.
All right. Give me a line, please. And remember, you're not supposed to talk about any other prisoner.
Cross my heart.
There, it's ringing.
Huh.
Hello, Sid Humphrey speaking.
Ah, good day, Sid. It's B. Smith here.
He's from Wentworth.
Well, there's only one.
Well, this is a lovely surprise. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, and Doreen, Judy, Elizabeth?
Oh, they're all okay, except the last one, whose name I'm not allowed to mention on account of it's against the regulations.
Elizabeth? Well, what's wrong with her?
Well, look, I don't know. I thought you might be able to tell us that. She'd been a bit down in the mouth ever since she last saw you. You two didn't have a blue, did you?
No, B, not at all. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think I know what's troubling her. Listen, do you think I could get in to see her if I come round straight away?
Hang on, I don't know. I'll just find out. Hey, Mr. Fletcher, what are the chances of a certain prisoner, who shall be nameless, of getting a visit from Sid this hour?
Is it urgent?
Life or death?
All right.
Okay, Sid, get your skates on. It's all arranged.
I'll get a taxi straight away. Thanks for letting me know, B.
Okay, bye.
Hi, it's only me. Just dropping in some notes I made on Alison Page.
Oh, thanks, mate. I'm just trying to catch up on some of my correspondence. This one's a bit of a worry.
What is it?
Well, it's from Colin Lester, president of the local Ibis Club.
Ibis Club? Is that like Rotary?
Yes. They're a community service group, and they want me to be a guest speaker at their next dinner. Haven't got a clue what I could talk about.
Well, what do they do exactly?
Oh, well, they organise fundraising activities for various community projects. The new childcare centre in Heron Street's one of them.
Well, are they interested in prison reform?
I suppose they must be, or they wouldn't have asked me.
Well, how about what we were talking about earlier? The attendance centre?
Yes, perhaps I could get them interested in that as a project. Now, I do have something to talk about, thank you.
Good. Well, I must be off.
Oh, well, I'll come with you. I want Judy to find me a report on the Rainwood Centre.
Ah, Sid, what are you doing here?
Oh, I got a call from B, Mrs. Morris. She said Elizabeth was feeling depressed, so I came round straight away. Do you think it's all right for me to see her, Mrs. Davidson?
Well, under the circumstances, I think you must. Why don't you speak to her in the garden? The least we can do is give you a little privacy.
You're very kind.
I'll get Mr. Fletcher to organise it.
Well, Mrs. Morris, has Elizabeth's case gone before the parole board yet?
Yes, it has.
Oh, dear.
I'm just not game to tell her. I mean, she was so happy after she accepted your proposal.
Ah. Well, makes no difference as far as I'm concerned, but I thought maybe that was why she was feeling depressed. But if she doesn't know...
I just don't know how to tell her.
Well, not to worry, Mrs. Morris. We'll just let it ride for the time being, eh? I mean, no point in upsetting her further at this stage, is there?
Inspector. Come see Kathy Hall again, have you?
Yes, Mr. Harrison. Thought I'd take a personal interest in the case, so to speak.
All right. I'll arrange for someone to go and get her for you. Oh, Miss Barfield, I'm going inside. Do you want Mrs. Perry out here to help you?
I've had a quiet word round the place with a few of my friends about Kathy Hall. No one knows of any actual connection, but there was a bit of interest shown. I'm going to drop a few names of some crims when I talk to her, see if we get a reaction.
All right.
Now, look, Terry, I think we should keep our little arrangement quiet, if you don't mind. I don't want anyone else from any other department stealing our thunder.
Suits me fine.
And he hadn't been gone 10 seconds when suddenly, whammo, somebody grabbed me by the hair and smashed my head into the bars.
But don't they know who did it?
Haven't got a clue.
Hall, Inspector Grace is here to see you.
Here we go again.
Don't worry, we'll make sure you see him this time.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Come on, Lizzie. You've got a visitor.
Who?
Sid Humphrey. The governor's arranged a special visit in the garden.
Oh, God. I wish I'd known he was coming.
Go on, Lizzie. Your hair looks fine.
Yeah, go on. Don't keep him waiting.
Well, I'm just covered in detergent.
Will you get going?
Come in, Mrs. Hall. Sit down. Well, the bruising's not too bad. I would have expected more from that lot.
Who? What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? Well, we better get down to business. Now, Mrs. Hall, I'm after information, and as you no doubt know, anything you can help me with will be considered by the authorities when your remission is decided.
I can't help you.
Why don't you wait and hear the question first? Now, we've got a line on a guy in Mulgrave, Paul Trantner. Do you know him?
No.
Thought you may have fenced some goods with him.
Well, you thought wrong, didn't you?
Come on, dearie, you've been round the traps long enough. Don't tell me you've never heard of him.
I might have heard of him, so what?
In connection with receiving?
No idea.
What about Hank Sutcliffe?
Never heard of him.
Leon Kramer?
No.
You must have heard of Tommy Bartlett now.
I know the name. Isn't he one of the Market Street gang?
How do you know that?
Oh, Struth. Everybody knows that. It was plastered all over the front page of the Verity last month.
Look, Kathy, it's in your interest to tell Inspector Gray exactly what you know.
I am. I don't know anything.
We're not getting very far, are we?
G'day, Sid. What brings you here?
Oh, you, of course, Elizabeth. Hello, Jim.
Hiya, Sid.
Now, what's all this I hear about you getting depressed?
Who told you?
Little bird.
Well, not exactly depressed. Just been thinking things over.
About what I asked you. And?
Well, I don't reckon you know what you're letting yourself in for, Sid. Asking an old lag like me to marry you. I mean, what'll your friends think?
Elizabeth, if there's anyone in this world who doesn't like you, they're not my friends anyway. Besides, I've made decisions for myself for a number of years now when I decided I want you to be my wife. So, only thing is, do you want to be?
Oh, yes, Sid, I do.
Well, then that's all that matters then. Oh, sure, we won't be seeing too much of each other for the next few months, but that'll make each visit better, won't it? Yeah, I've got a little something for you. Hope you like it. The diamonds from my wife's engagement ring. But I had it reset for you.
Oh, Sid, that's beautiful.
We're going to be very happy, Elizabeth.
You bet.
Well?
Well, what?
How'd it go? What did Sid say?
Nothing much. Just a minute. What's that? What? That rock on your finger.
Oh, Lizzie, you never!
He bloody did. Well, you couple of old foxes. You don't give much away, do you? He asked me the other day, but I didn't know. Oh, I didn't reckon he'd want to be saddled with an old chook like me.
Well, when's it going to be, Lizzie?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. Well, you better come down at that club before you start making any plans. Yeah. Fancy me getting spliced again. Oh, that's right. Real deal, love. Yeah.
Come in.
Oh, sorry to bother you, Mrs. Davidson. I'm just on my way and I thought I'd pop in and say thank you for letting me visit.
My pleasure. How did you get on?
She accepted me.
Oh, that's wonderful. When's the special day?
Well, as soon as possible, I suppose. Perhaps you could help me. Elizabeth's been talking about Captain Barton from the Salvation Army. I wonder, could he marry us?
Well, I'll certainly ask him for you.
You're very kind.
Oh, did Mrs. Morris tell you about the parole board's decision?
Yes, she did. Bit of a disappointment, but never mind. These things have a way of working themselves out.
Well, it's certainly not the last chance. The board can review the case at any time, and the fact that she will be married is a point in her favour when they have the next meeting.
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed then. Thank you very much, Mrs. Davidson.
Goodbye, Mr. Humphrey.
Well, that didn't get us very far, did it?
Oh, no, I thought it was a bit of reaction to some of those names.
No, it's surprising. Some of those names were pretty well-known crims. Besides, you said yourself she's been on the fringe of criminal activity for years.
Yeah, well, there haven't been any more attacks lately. Unless, of course, they're waiting to see what happens after today's interview.
Oh, I doubt it. If they were certain she knew anything at all, they wouldn't let her within cooey of the law. Now, there is something fishy going on. I just don't know what it is.
Well, I'll keep my eyes open.
Good. I appreciate that, Terry. And by the way, if you want to ring me, there's a card.
All right.
Hello, love. Why didn't you come to dinner? Oh, I know the tucker's not much, but you get used to it. I've been in here for over 20 years now, you know. Shouldn't have been in here in the first place. I've seen women come and seen them go. Some of them come back time and again.
What do you want?
Hey? Oh, nothing. Just want to have a chat and cheer you up. Everybody need company.
I just want to be left alone.
Oh, sure. We all know how you feel. Everybody feels like that. But you're in here, and that's it, and there's nothing you can do about it, so you better make the best of it. Oh, you're one of the lucky ones. You got a family on the outside. My family are in the States. I wouldn't have had nothing much, only Sid come along. And now I'm going to get married. It's funny how things work out, isn't it?
Please, I'm not in the mood.
Oh, no, why don't you come down the rec room and meet the others?
No.
Oh, go on. There's a TV. You could read a book. Or play cards?
No, I can't.
Oh, come on. It's not going to do you any good staying in your cell on your own.
I'll have another one. Well, it's done me in.
See, love? I won't bite you.
You want to join us for a foursome?
Come on, love. Sit down.
No, I can't. I don't know how.
Okay, suit yourself. No, you don't lose your bikini, girl.
Oh, Lorna, what'd you do that for? I was watching that.
Oh, come on. That was bloody boring. Anyway, Mash is on in a minute.
And I suppose we all have to watch what you want to watch.
So we take a vote, huh? I'm for mash.
Right. Well, you wouldn't be so bloody bossy if B was here.
So what? I suppose you're going to tell your mate on me, are you?
Oh, rack off.
Oh, choose what you bloody like.
I said rack off. All right, have a go.
Stop it! You're all mad. You're all raving mad.
Who are you calling mad?
Yeah, you stuck-up
All
bitch.
right, that's enough.
But she called
I said that is enough. Now go and do something, Lorna, until things calm down in here.
God.
Hey, I think you better come over with us.
No! Oh, right. That does it.
You go and get B.
No, we don't need B. We can look after this one ourselves. Right, girls?